Here we go again. Day 3, Course 2, Stagfall Country Club by the one and only Titan Eddie. So, I feel like I always have to say this before every one of these. I'm going to be playing with player clubs instead of tour clubs, as I feel like most of CC players are going to be playing with player clubs. So, there's no purpose for me to play with tour clubs. That being said, my scores are not relevant to how this course is judged, nor are they relevant to whether or not I find them CC caliber, considering this is a CC geared design contest. Sometimes I shoot well, sometimes I don't. It just is what it is. Just letting people know right off the bat that it has no relevance on how the course is judged. First and foremost among all of these is that I'm going to be making comments during the streams. If it's a technical issue, it's a technical issue. Other judges are going to agree with me. It just is what it is. Like it or not, it's a technical flaw. Most comments I make are my opinions only. Take them for what they're worth. If you don't agree with them, you don't agree with them. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm not trying to hurt yours. Just please don't come onto the forums and get into the course thread and complain about the critique or start PMing me a bunch of messages saying how disappointed you are that I had negative things to say about your course. It's my first look at a course. I'm just giving what stands out to me in the beginning, and if I see things I feel like it may make it look better or play better, then I'm going to point those things out. So it just is what it is. So beyond that, here we go. I believe he said blue tees, pin 1. Looks like we're going with the harvest theme here. Texture and sand colors, or the textures with the rough and fairway and all that, along with the sand color fits well into this. Solid color palette. Pretty minimal on the planting on that, so it's giving it a wide open, realistic look. Probably lower this corner right here. If you look what I'm seeing about right here. So I lower this, make this smoother across the bottom. Make it a little bit smoother going down and then back up your hill. This looks almost like it was flattened, then just moved off here and flattened. It gives a little bit, that could just be a little bit smoother coming off top to bottom. It gives a more finished look. What's up, Cole Allen? Let's see, where am I heading off the tee here? It's a little bit of a tight landing spot for driver off this. Because of the angle coming off there. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that it's deceptively tight for what it is based on your rollout that you're going to get off your driver. See what I'm talking about? Hit on one side and almost run through the other side. Nice looking green complex. Yep, this is Titans. See, we're 169 green speeds. Hey man, did you and Pablo hang out when you were designing your greens? Yeah, it's a good solid hole. It's not a bad way to open around. It's not dazzling, but there's nothing on it to really take away from it either. Just the little bit of the contouring on your fairway right there, both at the beginning, lowering that down and flattening it out, and then making a smoother transition from the top of your hill down would have helped it a lot. But that's just a personal choice. Nice use of the trees and rocks over here to the left to break up the sight line a little bit. Nothing wrong to go minimal if you just put stuff in the right spots. Another tight tee shot right here. It doesn't look like it, but it is. You don't have a lot of wiggle room there side to side, especially with the side wind coming in. You have to play out over the water. That can be a very uncomfortable feeling in this game. Nice use of your bunker here on the left. Could have given the one here on the right a little bit more depth. Just this front little area right here. This spot right here. Lower this just a little bit and flatten it out into the front of your bunker, and I would use a little hill right here on this spot to help raise that up a little bit. I'll probably raise that terrain by a foot and a half, and then kind of throw a little hill on your dimple right here where it's coming in, and then round it out just a little bit coming off of it. You don't have to make it perfectly lipped all the way around, but just a little bit of elevation on the back kind of sets that bunker off a little bit more. It's not bad what you have in there. You see it, it fits the sloping and everything else, but you could have added just an extra dimension of depth to your green right here. Oh, this is going to be a tough shot. Watch what Griff's does, taking it all the way up on this. See if I can keep it in the cone. Nope. It's not too bad, though. I can live with it. I'd rather play from there than have it run off the backside, which it was going to do. The tier works right there. Just be careful how abrupt you make it. I don't mind it as much on a par 5. Just be very, very careful with it. And it's getting close to being a little bit too much, but get in there, ball. I thought I had that one. Thought I had the line on that one. Dude, what are you even talking about? I wasn't complaining. What are you even talking about? I was talking about the slope, and I didn't even play into it. Good God. Know what you're talking about before you start running your pie hole. Like a knucklehead. Sheesh, wasn't even talking about anything that had to do with playability of that hole. I was just talking about that. It happens. I found out that my greens changed a little bit after I published, so I'm not defensive at all. Cob knocker. I'm gonna guess you planted trees here to make them look like bushes. That's pretty good use of them right there. That's a cool looking little area right there. Like I said, he went pretty minimal in a lot of his planting, but he put the right things in the right places thus far. This one over here almost got away with you, or from you a little bit. I probably would have planted, especially this side. I would have buried those rocks a little bit more. They're almost up a little bit too high because the size you have them, they almost start looking cartoonish. But it's a pretty minor thing. But I probably would have buried them a little bit long or more just to kind of give the tops of them hanging out. Especially, I think what's throwing it off is this big one right here and this big one over here on the corner. And they're both the round or fat oblong ones, and they're just a little bit too much for me right there. But minor thing. Oh shit. I think that'll be okay. I actually would have liked to have seen you gone a different way with your camber on this one. I would like to have seen this side raised, this right hand side, and kind of have this hilled off and let it flow over here into the left instead of in the opposite way, just based on the tee shot and the angle you're coming in at. It's a pretty tight area when it comes in. So as it comes in, it's naturally pushing the ball that direction. So I would have liked to have been able to use this as a backboard almost and run my tee shot off that side and then let it flow back down into your area over here. If that side's lower, it brings your planting more into view right here as well. Still a really good look. It's a good hole, Titan. Good hole, man. I'm just kind of looking at it from a different look. Was actually a little bit late getting on today. I had some errands to run anyway, but I figured I'd get a round in before rain just hits us and stays with us for about 4 days. So there, I got my last round of golf in for about the next 6 days because of the damn weather. Man, it's just not breaking. I must have hit it too hard and just put it through the brake. I shot a 68 today at Windward Dunes. Or Windswept Dunes, sorry. No, we're not getting weather off that. We're getting weather off of Harvey, man. it's moving east, and like if you look at the outer bands in Harvey right now, they're already over in the Mobile and Pensacola area. So as it moves east, those bands are going to move into my neck of the woods. So starting late tonight, tomorrow, we're going to start getting rainfall off of it. My real life handicap is plus 2.2. It was a good looking hole, Chad. I like how you I like how you frame this tee shot. This is a really good looking hole. The only thing that I can take away from it is I probably would have raised this tee or green complex up just a little bit, recessed your, and this is I like the shape of this bunker a lot, and I like the sculpting you did on it, but I would have been a little bit more aggressive with this back edge and raise this up a little bit, and that would have been heroic. This is a good looking hole right here. Very well done. Man, I'm sorry, Cole Allen. I didn't leave a damn thing in the Texas Panhandle I need to go back for. You in the Amarillo area? I don't know how anybody ever lived there and thought that was God's country. That's nothing but a big damn waste of space between Amarillo and Lubbock. Yep. I actually know exactly where that's at. I used to drive through there quite a bit. I go between Conway, Arkansas, and San Francisco, and I drive I-40 all the way out through there. And then when I lived in Colorado, I go from Conway, which is where my family lives, to Colorado Springs, and I'd hit Amarillo, and then I'd cut up through that area and go through like Clayton, New Mexico, then up to Raton, and then I-25 straight up to Colorado Springs. But I know that area quite well. It's one of the worst snowstorms I've ever been through was in Amarillo, Texas, trying to drive through there. It's kind of funny. The two worst snowed in areas I've ever had in my life was Flagstaff, Arizona and Amarillo, Texas. And they're not two places you would think of that would be like massive snow hazards. But I'll tell you what, in the wintertime there, man, it gets crazy. So let me get back my head back on what I'm doing right here. This is a tricky little chip. I'll stop. Okay, I can't complain with that, can I? I can't complain about that, can I? Michael Flood would, but I'm not going to. Somebody's been practicing with splines. Really nice shapes to your fairways and such here, man. Not gonna lie, there's something about this ditch right here that would make me want to put grass, a couple of rocks, and some of your bushes, like lower bushes in there, to separate it off instead of just leaving it as a blank area. That's Just straight up, just the designer in me right there. But the first thing I see right there is it needs some kind of fill instead of it just being a ditch. And I know you're trying to caddy for me, but I don't pay attention to that. I always go with my gut instinct, but I'm going to see off the tee because you're not going to be there telling everybody on CC how to make this shot. And I'm not sure with that wind right there of going for it. My gut is to actually club down and play safer on this. Got a pretty tight landing area for this length of hole right here on both sides of it. You got to be really careful of that in this game anyway. Man, I'm going to fly it if I get there. I'll tell you what, man, we're not going to... If I'm playing this realistically, I'm not going for that right there with that wind. I've got too much of a tendency to hit a slow backswing. If I have a slow backswing, I'm dead. Hence, from a course management standpoint, this is a safer play. I'll take the risk right there does not constitute the reward. It doesn't make up for the reward or the lack thereof. I don't see a benefit to playing to that side with that shot. I mean, you cut your distance down a little bit, but not enough to... I actually think I've got a better angle into the hole from where I'm at right here. Just saying. Just saying. Man, there's just enough right to left in that to make this a really tricky fucking putt. There we go. Oh, I don't hate it. From a design aspect, there's not a lot of justification on going for that left-hand fairway. Because to be honest, had I clubbed up, it would have shortened my distance by maybe 10 yards, 15 yards at the most. And I've got a different angle into the green. I had a more straight-on look at the pin where I hit it. It was a safer shot. And at 175 yards, I'm not hurting on that shot. That's well within the range. It's not like I'm trying to hit it 225 at that point. So, personally, let's see if I can go back to it. I don't know that I can. My personal take on this one right here is I probably would have gotten rid of this bunker right here and connected this fairway to that fairway and made it a little bit wider in your ditch area and let that be the bunker. Just lower this side of the fairway. It needs to be lower and let this be your high side over here and made this a bunker and made that connected and made it a playable area. There, that way to me makes a little bit more sense because this is a pretty small landing area for a shot that doesn't give you anything. I mean, when you look at the angle, you know, coming back into the green on that, I'm going over the corner of this bunker to the short side of the pin with a 9-mile-an-hour left to right wind. So that doesn't play well for me. If I play it from the side that I played it on, I've got a lot more area to work with coming into the green. So that's all I'm saying. So, I mean, and it's fine. As far as the way it plays, and once again, there's nothing wrong with what you have. It's just a little bit of a distraction from what's going on right there. And I can see trying to make some things viable for tour clubs but I can't judge it based on that with this contest. So I'm only looking at it from a CC standpoint with player clubs, and the risk doesn't outweigh the reward. I feel like my shot with a 3-wood was better and put me in a better situation. I would have been going for that with, a driver. So it just is what it is. Good looking hole right here. That's a nice shot off the tee. Probably could have lowered this side over here just a little bit more to let it be a more steady runoff. Create yourself like a little bit of a valley, but then I think what you're doing right here is leaving this high because it's the landing area and it keeps your green complex in view, because if you roll through that, end up down here, you start blocking it off. So kind of same thing. If you want to do a hill down here, do your hill back in this area, like over here this side, up against this edge of your fairway, and then let it fall off immediately. That way you can lower this area down. This needs to be lower. You can see from here how your terrain's starting to block off those bunkers. Well, your terrain's going to be blocked off, or it's going to block those bunkers off from anywhere back here. So give it a view. Don't kill your view. And the same thing. Come up on the high side with this bunker. Raise this up over here on this side to help frame your hole. Leave it. What you've done over here on this side, probably make it a little bit flatter going into that, but leave that about level with your fairway surface, but you can exaggerate your backing over here on this side of it to kind of give it a little bit different look. It becomes a really cool looking shot. But I don't know, Aaron. My average driving distance is somewhere between 290 and 310. Did I hit that fast? I didn't really watch my swing because I'm answering real life golf questions. Yeah, be careful with that because you got your hill here and how that falls off. I'm not crazy about it pushing the ball off. I'd have to go back and rewatch my swing, but I'm kind of feeling like that the contouring right there has had as much to do with me being in the rough as my swing did. But I may have hit that fast. I didn't see. Mm-mm-mm. You can make them work it there, but you're punishing people off the hill with it. You just want to be careful on that particular shot. Well, I don't know, Aaron. The this needs to be reworked a little bit. That's off a little bit. I was gonna say, I mean, I'm not a small guy in real life. I'm not huge or anything, but I'm not small either. I've been playing golf for a long, long time. You apparently haven't, from what you told me before. And I've been playing since I was like 10 or 11 years old, and I'm 47 now. So I'm still in pretty good shape. So boy, that feels like that's going to swing a lot more on me there. Yep, I knew that was coming out fast. I had no doubt about it at all. I could feel that when that was actually all on me. Well, fine, you're tall. You're 6'2". I'm 6'2", 200. Well, actually, I'm almost 6'3", and 235 pounds. So it's more than just your height. I mean, you can definitely get a lot more torque on your ball with your height, but I've got the weight behind it as well. I don't have to swing overly hard to get it out 300 yards. Between the technology on clubs and golf balls now, it's not hard to do. So that's going to swing really quick. I can't do much with this. Yep, that was always going to hang out to one side or the other, regardless of what line I picked on that. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. So we'll take our par and move on. Yeah, height and everything on that. I've got a younger brother that's 6'6", but he only goes about 170 pounds. So not the same weight to height distribution that that determines power all the time. With your height, you can get leverage, doesn't constitute power. You've already asked me all these questions. You asked me this like 3 weeks ago, man. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I had another game that I run while I'm doing this. I had to get myself set up on it. But no, it's Aaron. He comes on. Yeah, you asked me. I tend to use Callaway products for all of my woods, and I've been using a XR16 Callaway XR16 for a little bit. That being said, I tried out the new Big Bertha Fusion that came out and really liked that club. It's pretty damn sharp. But cool hole here, Chad. I may have screwed myself. You know, I'm starting to realize that tailwinds don't really have a lot of effect on your shots, do they? Well, I'm the opposite. I like their woods and don't like their irons. I use Strix irons for my iron play. Yeah, I'm starting to notice that the tailwind doesn't really affect. Nice fence work through there, man. It's a good, clean course. Nope, I don't have anything tailor-made. Is there a rule that says I have to have something tailor-made if I don't like their clubs? Eh, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing that's really taking away from it per se, so it's not poorly done. It's probably a little bit generic, but it's okay to have some of these holes in around there. I mean, nice planting right here. Behind it, you did just enough to kind of break up the sight line a little bit, so I don't have a problem with it. It seems like it's a pretty well done hole to me. Nothing flashy. The only thing that throws me off a little bit is your bank right here. I would come back in with the round soft fuzzy brush and lower this and flatten it a little bit. And you can do it just out here on the very edges to where it won't affect your playable area up here, but it softens the edge of your slope right here a little bit. And I get rid of that rock. I don't know why the rock's there. Now it's that. Now the rock is bugging me. Now the rock's bugging me, but beyond that, you could definitely soften this edge just a little bit, but that'd be about the only thing, man. Tell you what, we're gonna leave this short and probably to the right, but oh, son of a bitch! Are you kidding me? Okay, it's gonna work out okay, but that almost pissed me off because I had the wind played where I wanted it to and hitting fast. That was not a true fast downswing result. Otherwise, that ball would have gone out over the water. So I must have just barely missed it fast. Damn. I want to be careful of your sloping right here on this particular one. You got a pretty severe slope based on where your pin's at right there. Don't overdo it too much. Most people are going to land to the left of the hole or about where I'm at. They're going to be left or a little bit long. Don't force them into off the green on their next putt, especially from the other side of the hill. But because that right there is just barely green beads, barely green beads. Whew, this is nasty here, kids. That's about all the line I'm going to take with it right there. I'm not going for it any more than that. You hit that a little bit harder than that right there, and that ball's gone. Well, I don't know, Aaron. Most people can use whatever they want to. I mean, my game's at a point that I get clubs and I have everything kind of custom to the way that I play, and the Callaways work better for me. I have more control over them, so that's just my own personal view. I mean, it's just like golf balls. Almost everybody that I know of that I play with plays the Chromosofts. I'm not as big of a fan of them. I play better with just good old fashioned Titleist. Good looking hole here, Chad. I like this. Course is very clean. Let's see how short I come up on this one. fast, so it doesn't matter. Fuck. Oh, this is hole number 9. So here we go. Here's all my fast down swings. Now it's making sense. It's clean and wide open, but it still makes you work a little bit. There's some interesting shots in there. I like the rock here on the left. I don't like the rock on the right. It's a little bit of a distraction for me. That one just sticking out there on the right just almost feels like you didn't know what else to put there, so you just stuck a rock. I actually would have gotten rid of both of those and created a hill right here. Because you have the start of a hill right here where this is raised. See how all your stuff is like raised over here on this side? Why not just carry that through, get rid of the rocks and just carry that up to the area of your cart path right there. No, I liked it. I told you there was a cool look off the tee. Damn, what am I supposed to do? Like start singing praises and shit? Come on, man. Yeah, I would. I'd personally ditch the rocks on the other side and make that more of a hill coming off, especially with your tree line and everything else. That would have been a really good look. The rocks over there are just a little bit distracting. This one over here works. It feels like it's just out there by itself, but it at least works with what's going on. You've got it buried the right way. Those others just stick out a little bit too far. I'm not going to say it's dumb. It just felt like you didn't know what else to do right there, so you just stuck a rock. It's like, I need to eat some space. Here's a rock. Everything's going to be fast now. Shit. We're past hole number 9, guys, so it's done. It's the wrong hole for it here, isn't it? Son of a bitch. This is going to be painful. This is going to be downright painful. Let's see if I can muster up and save par on this shit. Good looking hole. I can't help the downswing right there. I actually would have liked to play the hole. This is really cool back here. That is almost a little bit too big. Your red tree right here, I would shrink it down size-wise. I mean, that's just a little bit too big, but everything else looks spot on like that. I like it. I like the water up against it too. That's pretty cool. Nice job, man. Don't you check up. Roll out. Come on now. Come on now. I'm leaving myself with work to do. Damn. Yeah, this one will make it on tour early. Just has a very realistic feel to it. I mean, this feels like a course I would play in real life. It really does. So, This one of your strongest efforts as of yet in the designer. Give this a little bit more depth. There's nothing wrong with what you have. I just like, well, I mean, it actually does when you get up on it. So I know what it is. It's the lip behind this bunker right here, kind of shades the other ones. And what you have is definitely not bad. I think you've done a good job with your spacing and where these lie. It's a good strategic shot. Might have raised this area up just a little bit more coming into it. Because of the ball physics, you can take that gamble on it, but that's a good solid shot, man. But I guess we're going to find out if tailwind really plays a major factor on this, because if it does, I'm about to go way off behind this hole. That was a 12-mile-an-hour tailwind right there, fellas. So I am now under the impression that tailwinds really don't affect your ball hardly at all. Like, at all. I know it was going uphill, but it wasn't going uphill that damn far, I don't think. Dirty bitch. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Now we're taking par. Well, we're taking birdie out of the equation. I did not hit that ball that hard. Damn, son. That was a lot of work for a birdie on a par five right there. Based on what I had left for eagle, I thought I had a really good shot at eagle, and that putt just went. Whee! Appreciate the time and effort that you put into your cart paths on this one as well. It does not go unnoticed. I think I made the comment during D-Dog's stream that I'm not judging that as hard as I usually do. I will come Invicta time. But I definitely do notice and give brownie points for taking the time to actually make this stuff look good. It's not easy to work with this stuff in this game. How in the hell they could actually take the cart path generator in TGC 1 and make it worse in 2 is beyond me. I did not think they could do that. They found a way. Yeah, we're not going to be too aggressive trying to hang this out over there. You're going to have to play it back over towards the middle and hope that that slope is actually running back down towards the pin. So hopefully it'll, well, it's either going to help me or hurt me. We're about to find out. We are about to find out. Well, with a fast swing, it's not going to matter. So, goodbye, ball. I think I was about where I wanted to be with where I lined everything else up. I thought I had a decent shot at it right there, but we'll never know with that swing. So, I can't keep adjusting every fucking hole to a swing. It's killing me. Nice contour to the green right there. It's a tough little lag putt, but that's what happens when you stick the ball on the opposite side of the green. Yeah. About the only gripe I can have on most of anything on this one, Chad, is around some of your water edges right here. Soften them up. Soften them up. Use the round, soft, fuzzy brush, and just hit the edges of your bank right there, and that'll soften it up to where it's just not like just a sheer drop down in the water. It just gives it a little bit more finished look to it, more of a natural look. I mean, I've seen courses that actually have stuff like that, but they're fewer and far between. There's more that don't than do. Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit more of a taper. I was going to say you could actually camber this a little bit to give a little more left to right play, but I wouldn't do that because then you start forcing balls towards the water, and that's no fun either. So that works. I just leave it where it's at. Yeah, I think Titan and Pablo were hanging out trying to discuss how to do their greens. Man, both you guys got some really big breakers on straightforward shots. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I don't want to leave the ball short of the hole right here on this one because of that downslope. So, I mean, I don't know where else to play it. Except 2 feet away, maybe? Ah, just a little bit too high. Yeah. No, it's fine. It works. The only thing that bugs me about it is that with the way the greens play now, from 2 feet right there, I'm okay. If I'm at 4 feet or 5 feet on the putt coming back, that becomes a pretty big breaker. That's not a straightforward putt. It's not going to affect the best players in the game, but some of those will give fits to the casual players. Like I said, nothing wrong with what you have, but good looking hole. Same thing as with the other one, man. Just taper this off a little bit more down here at the bottom. Round, soft, fuzzy brush. Flatten and just hit your outside edge, and it drags it down just a little bit more. And you can angle it in a way that it won't affect your playing surface up here, but it just gives it a softer edge going down. And I would probably raise my hill just a little bit behind this bunker. The bunker is it's 97% spot on. You extend that hill up behind that back bunker just a little bit, and it gives a little bit, it doesn't seem like it would, but it gives just a little bit different look into that green right there, and I really like it. So this is solid par 3. Solid hole, solid hole, solid hole. Is it going to help me there? Or is it going to come on back down? We played that hoping that ridge was going to help push me back down a little bit, but that'll work. Well, whatever you did fighting the bunkers right there, man, it worked. I think the bunkers fit this hole. I like them a lot. So your other one over there is spot on. This one, just a little bit of elevation behind it. See where you're up here on the left? You're up on the left right here, and then you've got it raised over on the right, and then you let it dip in the middle. Just extend that same level all the way across there, and it's 100% perfect of where it needs to be. And what I'm telling you right there is a very, very minor thing. I mean, and it's just an opinion. It's not that you did anything wrong. I just think it looks a little bit better. Not sure about the rocks over here. Look, Mom, big fucking rock. Good lip behind the right hand bunker there on the fairway. I think Aces is talking about Matt's course called Up Your Butt. I think that's what he's talking about, not your course. Good opening shot. I already know what I'm going to end up saying about the back, and it's not anything you haven't heard already. Did I hit 3-wood off the tee? I guess not. That was weird. Well, it checked up quick. I know I got a win, but shit. So, yeah. Already knew what I was going to say on this because I could see the lay of the land coming into it. So either raise your tee or your green complex back here or lower this section. You're blocking off some really good work down here. That's a really good looking bunker. That's a really good looking bunker, actually. And you're just completely blocking it off. Same thing over here on that side. Raise that back in and up just a little bit, but outside of that, you've got a really good, nice green complex up there. What you got, and you're just completely killing your view because of your sculpting right here. So either lower this or raise that. Either one works. I lost that a little bit too much because of the wind. I should have let it go just a little bit more. Ah, come on, ball. Cooperate with me, man. You almost nailed this corner up here. You almost freaking nailed it. Good looking hole. Really like the concept of it. I think you just missed one thing on the finish right here, and that's going to be down here in this corner. And see how you've got it raised? Let it be more raised. Let this down in here be flatter and lower than that, and use that as a bank up in there. That was almost dead on perfect for what was going. Just need a smoother transition from this point right in here into that hill. So let this be a little bit lower through here, lower and flatter, and then let it start rising about right in here up into the back of that hill right there, and that is dead on perfect. A slow down swing, of course, because it's the only place that it could fucking hurt me. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Here we go. The, as Ian calls it, the swing lottery is now open. Fuck. That's just flat out stupid right there. like how your path runs across right there. It's kind of a cool look. I like this hole. I like your I like your camber over here on this one as well. You got to be careful not to just make it a straight shot down there. You want to have one area where it at least starts flattening off a little bit so you don't encourage balls off the fairway from that side. But that's a good idea. Very well done. Shit. Perfect, perfect with 200-yard club, and we might not even make it to the other section of fairway. 124 yards. That's pretty awesome. Fuck. I'll tell you what, this game. It's a lot of fucking work for a birdie right there, man. A little bit smoother up there on that corner coming down, but that's a good hole, Chad. That's a good par 5 there. Another good looking tee shot. It's very clean. Very clean. Just being a little bit more smooth on your contouring right here, because this is a big difference between TGC 1 and 2. You can't hide your sculpting anymore. Any little thing that looks off is going to look off. So like right here in this area, it could be a little bit smoother coming off this hill, and part of it's just my eyes as well. What you have is not bad, so don't take it that way, but it could be a little bit smoother transition from here to the top of your next hill. It sinks down a lot right there, but nothing wrong with what you've done. Just something that you catch with the from different angles, where I can actually see exactly what you did technique-wise to get the look. Oh, stutter swing. Another fast one, so I just basically counteracted the wind. It's not going to kill me. It just takes birdie out of play. I probably could have been a little bit more aggressive with that putt, but I was afraid I'd leave it down there and make par and carry on. And to the 18th. See what he's got for us as a closing hole. Could have been a little bit smoother with your splines or brushes on this one, because how you have your big hump over there is that second landing area. Nothing wrong with having that there and that, but make that a more rounded shape. It's a little bit weird with the angle it's coming in, and I see it with my eyeballs when we're panning over the course. I mean, all in all, that's very tic-tac kind of stuff, but it's I mean, you kind of feel it when you're like from up here. It's a little bit more of a symmetrical round corner coming off that, just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. But all in all, good solid hole off the tee box here. It's a fun look. Fun play. You're giving people with tour clubs a way to go after it over there, so people with player clubs aren't. Same thing. I like your camber on this one, rising this corner right here. That's a good design decision. Just make it a little bit smoother from the top of your hill down here to this point down here. Got away from you just a little bit right there, so just make that a little bit more even coming down through there, and that's spot on. So yeah, I like that. I mean, this works for what it is. I'm like playing out of the valley right now, and I mean, it helps me as a player because now I've got a relatively, flat shot right here, but I'd still like to see that cambered off a little bit more. So now I've got a little bit of a side hill lie. It's a longer shot, I think, for a fun closing hole. Oh, the swing demons. I hope I get this out of my system for tonight. What's up, Clint? Woo, I almost missed that par putt right there. So that's a really good solid course right there. I think Matt's going to have to bring his A game for that first round matchup. That's a solid course right there, kid. I'd say by far this is probably your best effort in the designer, and you've had some strong ones before, but this is course plays like a real course. It's got a lot of nice views going on, a lot of nice work. I mean, there's obviously things we pointed out as we were going through, just here and there. They're very minor tic-tac things. Most of them just things that I see as a designer that I would change just because it's a looks thing. But that's a very strong course in the competition. So yeah, that makes it. I'll tell you what, man. There's a few of them. I think the first round matchup between Stay Puft and Chad is going to be a tough matchup to judge. Mayday hasn't put his course out, but Ola put out a really strong course. I played it last night as my final play, and I was very impressed with what Ola did with his course. So that's going to be a tough matchup. Scampy and Pablo's is going to be a tough matchup. Very, very much a contrast in styles of what was going on. So there's a few of the vets that just happen to get paired up in the first round that they're going to be tight. So that's I don't know, Matt. If I'm in your bracket, I'm worried about Stay Puft and what he brings when he puts courses out. The guy puts out solid courses, so he's being humble. Don't let him fool you, guys. He can design. But yeah, Chad, that was just a really good, solid course, man. Definitely going to be on tour. So I'll be interested to see what Stay Puft puts out, so we knock somebody out. We're gonna send somebody home. Woo! But no, that's a good course, man. Good course. And I mean, at the end of the day, I appreciate what you guys do as designers. This is not easy, and it's definitely not easy doing it on a time limit. And we all want to win. We all want to have a good representation. But in the end, the winners of this are the TGC Tours community, because we're getting a lot of good courses out of this, and we're kind of stocking the cupboards of tour courses. That's one of the reasons why I do this one, and make it CC compatible. I'm not going to lie about it. This is one of the main reasons for this particular contest. It helps me plan out my next season of courses. This front end loads, you know, my first 10 or 11 weeks with courses. So one of the main reasons behind it, besides the fact I just enjoy doing the design contest. I've always enjoyed competing in them, so if you guys enjoy it, I keep doing them. As long as we don't have a lot of the bullshit that's happened in the past with some of the comments, then I'm good to go with it. A little bit of work that goes into it, but it's all worth it in the end. But anyway, guys, I'm going to kill this stream, get this uploaded and exported to YouTube so I can get it embedded. It's 3:45 my time. I doubt I'm going to do another course, because I'm going to get a couple of things done around the house and get some dinner going, since we got after dark tonight. This becomes an earlier night for me, so this gets us, what we do, 7 yesterday, 6 the other day, 13, 14, 15, so this is 15 courses in 2.5 days that we've got streamed through, so we're well ahead of schedule. And I'm going to be out tomorrow, well, tonight, obviously, I'm not going to do courses because we're doing After Dark, and then tomorrow, I might get some done during the day, but it's only going to be 2 or 3. Tomorrow night I will not be on streaming, and then Friday we'll be back at it. And I'm hoping that since the deadline's tomorrow, everybody's going to have a course out. It will be out, so I should be wrapped up streaming by the end of the weekend. And then judging will be in full swing, and we'll start getting results out, and results should come pretty fast. So other than that, guys, appreciate you tuning in, and like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this one uploaded. Good course. And we'll be checking you guys a little bit later. Check in around tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern time, for TGCT After Dark. And for all you guys that play on PC and play on PS4, we have the TGCT After Dark Society. We haven't kicked things off competition-wise yet, because I've been trying to get through some of this stuff. But it will be a full go here in the near future. So drop in either one of those societies and sign up for it. You do have to sign up once I get your application. Well, you know that you've applied for it. I okay it, and then you have to check back in to okay my okay, and then you're part of the society. And we're going to have some fun competitions and prizes and quirky little things go on. So it should be fun times. Anyway, guys, take care.